What up, ladies and gentlemen? ScooterRay, Yeager Bombastic, and we here to bring you that quick tag.
Yup.
Roll the intro.
T.A.G.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, good people? So, we here. Quick tag. We kind of switch up that format we do from last Friday all the way up until Wednesday. And Friday, SmackDown, it was a show. The only thing The only thing that was beneficial that came out of SmackDown is Triple H announced that the draft is coming. He didn't say when. He just said the draft is happening in a few weeks, and every superstar is eligible.
Woo! Yeah.
Right. We had Riddle saving Sami Zayn from getting his butt kicked from the Bloodline
Yeah.
and SmackDown. Of course, after SmackDown, we had Rampage. It was some okay matches. I kind of like the Darby Allin and Lee Moriarty match. The Acclaimed and the JAS thing, I thought was a dumb match to have, considering the Acclaim had dissed the JAS that Wednesday, but they still had the tag team match. Then after they won, the JAS jumps the Acclaimed, and it was like, this is counterproductive, but okay.
Yeah. I
I
guess
get
it
it.
just makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we had Anna JAS versus Julia Hart. Julia Hart won, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
She
The
I was
Miz.
honestly a solid, like, for Julia Hart, like, doing her babyface matches to what she's evolved to now.
Yeah.
That's I mean, watching her from Dark, that's a good amount of progress on her part, man. Like, she's
Okay.
really
Okay. Yeah, because
she's developed. She's
yeah,
developed.
because you've been our resident dark and all that watcher, so you would definitely know it before us. But and then we had Battle of the Belts afterwards. It started off with Orange Cassidy versus Jalistico. The issue I personally have with Battle of the Belts, and once again for the people who watch Quick Tag, nothing ever really feels like it's going to be title changes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like titles will be changing. So Orange Cassidy, Jalistico, it kind of makes me wonder who's going to be the one who's going to really take that belt off of Orange Cassidy at this point.
I'll save that for
Yeah.
tonight.
Then we had Lucha Bros versus QT Marshall and Powerhouse Hobbs for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
Had it not been for the fact that the Lucha Brothers had just won those titles, maybe I could have seen a title change, only because how dominant they've been making Hobbs. But
Okay. That's fair.
Lucha Bros had just won.
That's
Yeah, I
WWE
can
booking. Like,
understand
with QT
Hobbs'
Marshall.
theory of I beat both of y'all separately. I should be able to beat both of y'all together. But funny enough, they pinned QT, so didn't see that one coming. Now did your Hobbs. But then we had Jade Cargill, Billy Starks. I understand this was really supposed to show off Billy Starks, but at this point, you're just feeding people to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end, Taya comes out. They had a little mini scuffle, but do you think Taya's going to be the one to beat Jade?
I mean, she's got the resume to do it.
Okay.
But I mean, from like all her time that I've seen like highlights of her at for Impact.
I think it really should have either been Athena or it really should have been Statlander. But
like, I don't know where Statlander's been.
True.
That's the only issue there for me. But yeah, I would have been more than happy with it being Statlander. Like, and maybe that's the reveal we'll get at Double or Nothing.
Maybe.
Like maybe Jade makes it to Double or Nothing, or maybe Jade drops the belt to gain it back at Double or Nothing. I don't know.
Okay.
But I would hope that it would be Statlander or even Athena, but didn't she go to ROH?
Yeah, I think that's technically ROH permanently since she's the women's champion. So
Yeah.
maybe Statlander. We shall see. So that was Friday. We're going to roll into Monday. So Monday Night Raw, of course, it was announced that there was some travel issues, and you can tell. So most of the superstars were not in attendance, and the show they had to put together was definitely a filler show.
Yikes.
The first segment, you had Ray and Dom trading words back and forth. Ray was like, well, if you feeling like that, how about you fight me in a match? Dom was like, I'm not going to fight you, but I know somebody else will. It was Finn Balor. Finn and Ray go at it. Finn gets the W, of course. I mean, with an interference, Finn gets the W.
Yeah, of course.
Then it was a segment backstage where Lita was attacked by someone. And Liv and Raquel finds her. Trish and Becky comes running saying, what did y'all do? What did y'all do? And they was like, why would we attack y'all? Blah, 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 blah. So Becky was like, I know we're supposed to defend the tag titles tonight. Trish would just be my partner. So we roll into Trish, Becky Lynch versus Liv and Raquel. It actually wasn't a bad match, but you could tell something was off. Like the chemistry wasn't 100% there, or maybe the gears wasn't like, like maybe everything wasn't fully ironed out or whatever, but it wasn't necessarily a bad match. But ultimately, it ends in Liv and Raquel, new tag team champions. From that, yeah. Liv and Raquel, new tag team champions. From that, Trish and Becky, they kind of hug it out, and then Trish starts to beat up Becky.
Good. Yes, good. Okay, fine. We're getting a decent heel turn out of that.
Yes. So Trish starts to beat up Becky.
What the fuck? Why didn't you just let them lose at Mania?
Well, remember, the belts weren't even defended at Mania. That's why.
No, I know. But just rewind the clock and let them lose it at Mania.
Right? Then we get Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed. They had a nice little beefy boy brawl that ended in a double count out. So they will have to settle their beef at some point else. But yeah. Cody Rhodes comes out, and he's literally the only main eventer. Well, not only main eventer, but one of the only main eventers in the building. Like I said, because if you include Becky Lynch, if you include the Usos, if you include maybe KO, the star power was not in attendance. But Cody comes out, has a promo, and basically, in a sense, he's challenging Brock Lesnar at Backlash. We'll see what Brock has to say.
Okay.
What else? We get the Usos versus the Alpha Academy. Usos get the W. We have a triple threat match to determine who Bianca's going to face at Backlash. We had Mia Yim versus Piper Niven. Huh?
Why?
Well, Bianca needs a challenger.
Run it back with Asuka and give the belt to Asuka.
I guess that wasn't in the cards.
Jeez, God, I hate what they do with her.
And trust me, I'm gonna get there with this whole WrestleMania Backlash thing.
All right.
So the rumors about Bayley must be somewhat true, because Bayley is backstage and she's like, hey, I'm not going to be in the triple threat match. I'm going to let it be Io. So Io versus Piper versus Mia Yim. And Io gets the W. So we're going to have Io versus Bianca at WrestleMania, or at Backlash, rather. Then the main event, we get Solo versus KO. Of course, the mission is to beat up the tag team champions, solve the KO problem and whatnot. I can't remember the Solo win or the K. I can't remember who won, but of course it led to them jumping them. And then the Usos come by, and all three are jumping KO. And just so happens Riddle and Sami Zayn arrives to make it a 3-on-3 situation, and that's basically how the show ends with the scuffle. And I want to say the good guys are on top. As of right now, WrestleMania Backlash has a horrible build.
Yeah.
It has a horrible build. Literally, the only two matches that we know is Bianca versus Io and Cody potentially versus Brock Lesnar. It's having a horrible build into Backlash right now. And it's like, this was y'all's plan? Or there's something not going right?
This is Vince's plan. This is Vince's undoing everything Hunter wanted to do plan.
Exactly. Is this some more Vince McMahon chicanery going on? But
this has to be Vince McMahon chicanery.
And to say
with
Backlash, I think it's 2 more weeks into Backlash. So yeah, it's having a horrible build right now. But
God, and you know what? When everything goes to shit, like, yeah, Triple H is gonna be the one to blame.
Yeah, of course. Somebody, there has to be a fall
Vince. Guy. Can't be Vince.
Yeah, there has to be a fall guy. Why not Hunter? NXT, Melo opens up the show. There's going to be a fatal 4-way match to determine who's going to be Melo's first challenger at Spring Breaking in 2 weeks. And from there, Dragon Lee comes out, and then JD Madonna comes out, and Grayson Waller comes out because Grayson is he's announced now as the third person that's in this fatal 4-way. We don't know who the fourth's going to be yet. So, yeah.
Okay.
We get a rematch, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn versus Fallon Henley and Kiana James. James and Henley were backstage like, hey, let's get on the same page. Let's get the belts back. Hey, have you heard from Brooks? Brooks ain't here. He doesn't want to talk to y'all too, and blah, blah, blah. The match happens, and this was like, why is this match happening again?
Wait, they pretty much replayed fucking Stand and Deliver?
With a little more added. The only thing they did differently was Brooks shows up and how Kiana wanted to use the bag.
Yeah.
Brooks literally gets in the ring and he's telling Henley, use the bag. And Henley is screaming at him, get out the ring. What are you doing? And Fire and Dawn beat up on Henley. 1, 2, 3, they retain. And then Briggs, he goes to Brooks like, what are you doing? And Brooks pushes him down. And he carries Kiana James out the ring.
Oh, God.
Right. And it was like, and why couldn't we have done this at Stand and Deliver instead of saving this on TV? Like, this whole scenario could have played out on Stand and Deliver instead of this haphazard rematch.
Oh, God. NXT is becoming a soap opera.
Yes, it is. We have the Chase U MVP award ceremony where they're awarding Duke Hudson the MVP award for winning, and Duke Hudson is still having the behavior that he wants to portray Chase U. Then Braun Breaker comes in and was like, I'm going to give up my spot for the in that fatal 4-way. I'm going to give it to you, Duke. And then proceeds to end up spearing. He was supposed to spear Duke, but Duke moves and he spears Andre Chase. So, and it was like, reasons this had to happen this way. So,
yeah,
the fatal 4-way, Duke Hudson.
Just add more. Oh, did he mean to shove or get out of his way? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Basically. So, Duke Hudson, Grayson Waller, Dragon Lee, JD Madonna, main event, to see who's going to be the number one contender.
Mm.
We get Javier Bernal versus their newest member, Eddie Thorpe. Thorpe gets the W. Gallus and Schism had a face-off in the back because the Dyad, or formerly Grizzled Young Veterans, was like, hey, we getting tired of being passed over for these tag team championships. We want a title match. You know what I'm saying? How about you fight us, Gallus?
Mm.
Then we get Tiffany Stratton, so Ruka. Stratton gets the W.
Oh, what the hell? They're really pushing her, huh?
That's why I thought she was going to win that ladder match, because they was really been pushing Stratton as of late.
Dude, I would have been on that same page as you, but I just was like, nah, she's way too new.
And that's the only reason why, like, they may not give it to her, but
yeah,
Cora J comes out, has a segment. She's dissing all the women, talking her trash, and it was like, this is cool and all, but it's lasting too long.
Yeah, it's like,
And
when the hell are you showing up?
And I forgot who she got into it with, because somebody did come out and tried to fight her or stop her or whatever. But yeah, we get Von Wagner versus Ilya Dragunov, and if Von Wagner loses, Robert Stone is done with Wagner. Von Wagner loses, and Robert Stone looks at Wagner's like, all right, I'm out, peace. And it was like, okay.
What the fuck?
Joe Coffey of Gallus versus Tank Ledger. And Tank Ledger is the first person who signed the NIL deal. So he's the first one to debut. Joe Coffey wins. Other little segments that were sprinkled throughout the show. But main event, Madonna, Waller, Hudson, and Lee. Waller steals the W. So Grayson Waller is the number one contender, and he will go against Carmelo Hayes at Spring Breaking. And now, as of Wednesday night, we get into Dynamite. We start the show off with Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland. Did not think the match was going to go this way, but once the end happened, I could see why.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it shouldn't have happened, considering where Swerve's story is going and considering the story Darby is intertwined with. It shouldn't have happened because Swerve is in a position, huh?
You said shouldn't have happened?
Because Swerve is in the position where he's trying to establish this new and improved mobile embassy. Darby is vying for the fact of, he wants to be number one contender to MJF. So it was like, it should have had this match.
I think this match is more of a crossroads match than like a shouldn't have happened match.
I think so. I think
like this is where like a few stories could like intersect and then go their own ways.
But Darby gets the W, and from that MJF comes out. MJF and Darby has words, and of course, if you say it, they will come. Sting appears, and Sting hadn't been on TV in a couple of months, right?
He'd been absent.
Yeah, so Sting comes out, basically throwing pom-poms in MJF's face, saying, "Nah,
that was funny shit.
I'm more like a cheerleader more than anything else."
So I'm not a father. I don't run a daycare. Daycare's never my thing.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, but I put it when you had Cody." What did he say?
Oh no, he's like, yeah. We get it. You have Cody issues.
That's what it was. You had Cody issues. He's like, "Oh, did I say Cody? Yeah, I said Cody. Yeah, because you had Cody in your corner, but you ran him off." And so
he's like, yeah, you had Cody in your corner, just like I'm in Darby's corner, just like Ric Flair. Woo!
Was in my corner.
Just like the Wolf Pack was in my corner. Yeah.
At this point, it needs to go ahead and lead to a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, but let me see who hasn't been showcased really. Actually, no. Each of them have been showcased by
Yeah,
now.
each of them been showcased. I mean, MJF doesn't necessarily have to be showcased because he's the champ, but yeah,
Yeah. No,
at
no,
this
no, and
point.
it stays true to his whole
Hmm.
persona, like of not wrestling too often.
Um, but I think the issue I'm having is if they go with the fatal four way, where does that put? Oh, I was going to say where. Who would be MJF's next challenger if he walks
Assuming
out
he
still champion?
survives.
Huh?
Assuming he
I was like,
survives.
yeah, if he walks out as champion, who's next for MJF? Because you didn't beat Danielson, you didn't beat the Pillars. Who would be next?
Someone new, maybe,
At this
or
point, it would
an
have to
old
be.
face returning. Did you see that story?
But we could talk about that after we talk about the main event. So
Okay,
we'll
okay,
put a
okay,
pin in that topic.
okay. But I mean, to ask, so your question of who, as far as like, I mean, there's been some recently acquired talent. I mean,
Yeah,
Jay White. Um,
true.
I assume he's not going to want to go too long without gold under his belt or under his or around his waist.
I can see that at some capacity.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens with the Bullet Club drama in general.
Um, then we get one of the most unexpected matches to me. Powerhouse Hobbs defending the TNT Championship against Silas Young, and he just squashed Silas Young. And I'm sitting there like, wait.
This is a
And,
championship match. Like,
and Ashley was like, wait, is he a jobber? I said, no, Silas Young is far from that. But
yeah,
he got squashed in like 2-3 minutes flat. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we get footage. Well, I say footage. We get a live shot of Wardlow destroying Hobbs' car, and it was like, damn,
dang, he got his lick back.
damn. It did affect it. Every time I keep saying damn, the dams keep increasing because he keeps destroying the car. And I was like, oh no, he flipped it.
Oh, he
But
did the big show.
right? And then Wardlow comes out, him and Hobbs have a little scuffle. And
Mm-hmm.
then one of the most oddest scenes happen.
Hit him.
The whole group just leaves, and Wardlow is out there still with Aaron Solo, and it's like, y'all can come back out and save him. It wasn't like a group of backstage people rushed y'all back there. Y'all kind of walked backstage with y'all's own volition, and it was like, yeah, fuck Aaron Solo. Like that's the way it kind of seemed. And it was like, well, and then he hit that second table pretty gnarly. Like he didn't hit both of them tables
Yeah, that wasn't the
flush like he was
cleanest.
supposed to.
Yeah,
But then, like Yeager discussed, we get a promo with Jay White and Juice Robinson where Jay White basically just says, hey, this is Bullet Club Gold in AEW. And it was like, oh, okay. I wish that would have been announced a little bit better than that, but
like maybe
okay.
the same night as your debut.
Like not in a promo that you could have missed if you like went to the bathroom during commercial break or something. But it's like, oh,
Which I
like
did at first.
like that could have been something that really should have been announced in ring. That this is Bullet Club Gold or something. But hey, we got Bullet Club Gold. And how you feeling about that so far, Yeager?
I mean, I'm always happy to see some Bullet Club in action.
Okay.
Been a fan of them for a minute, and hey, if they're finally coming to AEW, I'm here for it. I couldn't pick two better guys to represent, like between Jay White and Juice Robinson either.
And then probably the rumors of El Phantasmo.
Yeah, we could get a legitimate Bullet Club going against
So,
the Elite. We could get a Bullet Club against any fucking faction, really.
right? So we shall see. And then we get Orange Cassidy versus Buddy Matthews for the All Atlantic Champion. No, wait, International Championship because they changed it.
Mm.
I'm not gonna
Oh, I
lie.
just thought about that.
I'm not gonna lie. I completely thought Orange was gonna lose this match.
Yeah, after he couldn't do that orange punch anymore for a bit, I was getting sold like, oh, this is it. This is the loss.
But he persevered, gets the W.
Nah, man, that mousetrap is broken.
Yeah, right, right. Do you think this could be the championship Jay White could get?
To kick
It's like
him
a little
off.
starter
To kick
championship,
him off,
maybe.
yeah. I could see that.
Um,
We got
but
a
yeah,
couple. We got a few more weeks till Double or Nothing.
yeah. I think it's like late May.
Oh well, then no, we got a little bit.
Yeah,
We
yeah. I
could
think
see
it's late
Jay
May.
White. We could see Jay White show up between now and then, like get Juice out of nowhere. Or not Juice. I'm sorry, Orange Cassidy out of nowhere.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. And shit. I mean, how many defenses Orange Cassidy has had? Some like a good 10 plus defenses.
Yeah, no, he's had a lot.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, at this point, who's gonna be the one to topple Orange Cassidy for this championship?
Yeah,
Um, and then you get the best friends challenging Aussie Open for the end for the IWGP Tag Championships, and it's like
to put that on a Rampage though.
to put that on a Rampage, and it's like
Mm,
okay
mm,
to put that on
mm,
a Rampage, and not only put it on a
mm.
Rampage, but to put
That's
it on a
gotta. Oh, you
Rampage
know what? I
that we
bet
don't
you I
know
know
what
what
time
that
gonna come
is.
on.
I bet you. Watch, best friends will drop it, but then like maybe Bullet Club shows up. Like, still do your IWGP, have Jay White. Shit, you could debut El Phantasmo, but you could have
Yeah,
Jay White and Juice do it, or El Phantasmo and Juice do it.
yeah. Um, then we get Ethan Page. He's in the ring. He's pissed off with this whole Matt Hardy situation. And then Matt Hardy gets in saying, "Hey, you didn't read contracts because the match was like, hey, if you lose the hook, me and Private Party, what was it? Me and Private Party are no longer,
No
oh,
longer, no longer under your service
yeah,
or
no
under your
longer the
contract.
circumstances." And it was like, how about a match? And we can officially get from under you. And Ethan Page was like, look, I'm not me and Stokely aren't the only ones in the firm. And then we get Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. It
Yeah,
turns into a 2-on-1. I mean, 2-on-1, a 3-on-2 beatdown, and then we get the music of Jeff Hardy, and it was like,
I
and
was wondering if they were teasing us with Jeff because Matt kept coming out to Jeff's music.
Brother Nero comes in and just cleans house. Oh, sorry, Hook comes out first. My bad.
Yeah,
Hook
yeah,
comes out first. Then when it started to look like the bad guys was taking over, Jeff Hardy comes out.
yeah.
So, and Jeff Hardy's looking good. We'll see where it goes. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a
Yeah.
little the Hardys, Hook, and uh, probably maybe Cassidy versus the Firm in some way, or maybe Firm might introduce some new people. Who knows what happens with that situation? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it just
Um.
me or wait? Oh yeah, I'll let you get to the main event.
Oh. Then we get Kenny Omega. He has a segment saying that not Bullet Club, BCC, y'all doing too much. And next time I see y'all, it's on
It's
site.
on site.
It's on site. And coincidentally enough, we get BCC's Mox and Claudio versus Cutler and Nakazawa. Those poor gentlemen. Those
That
poor
did
gentlemen.
that match did not need to be as long
It
as
was
it needed
too
to
long.
be.
It was
No,
too
no,
long.
no. It was just long enough to show that these guys actually have some fight.
I give you that. I'll give
Like,
you
because
that.
we hadn't seen Knack or Cutler in the ring in a while.
That is
So
true.
it's like, you know what? They tried to fight. Like, poor Cutler got like freaking bladed.
Yes.
And you know what? Good on him for doing that spot and like fighting for his little life there.
But yeah, the BCC handily win. They like I mean, This
I
was
mean, they
the
fucked them up.
this was the longest squash match in history. But
Yeah. Yeah.
from that, Kenny O's music hits. Oh, speaking of, Don Callis's cut looked gnarly.
Oh yeah, did you finally see what that? I saw that on Instagram like when it happened, but yo, that cut.
Jeez.
So they said on that cut you could see bone.
Yeah. Like that was a
Ah,
gnarly cut. Like,
that
whew.
man had to be stitched.
I mean, like I said when I did the review, y'all know how I feel about Don Callis, but when real world things happen, like
Yeah. Not
Jesus,
intentional, people.
Jesus.
That's the ups and downs or the downs of
Whew.
wrestling sometimes.
But yeah, Kenny O's music hit, and it's like, oh shit. And then, Moxley gets out the ring to try to meet him at the ramp, and then the Bucks, them Bucks of youth, as Matt Hardy calls them, and it leads
Fox on
into
you.
a 3-on-3 scuffle. And I guess the ending to this scuffle didn't go as right as it was supposed to, because you had they were trying to do the whole screwdriver thing, and it was like Moxley's just sitting there like, yeah, bring it on. And it's like, something ain't going right with this. But it ends in that. So at some point, I don't know if they're going to save it
I think they
for,
wanted to make that dramatic look, like,
I
oh,
think
Kenny was
so.
gonna stab him, and then they just had to wait for Claudio to get set up to pull him out.
So ultimately, what match you think the Elite with Hangman versus BCC is going to have? You think it's going to be like an anarchy in the arena? Think it's going to be blood and
Well,
guts?
the question is, who's their fourth gonna be?
Who?
The Elites, because
Oh,
the whole
I
BCC
said,
is 4 people.
well, I said the Elite and Hangman.
Oh yeah, never mind.
LS,
I'll
yeah,
run.
I
I'll
was
run
like, yeah,
that. Shit, I'm forgetting all about Hangman, but
I was like,
I don't.
the Elite and Hangman versus
I don't know
BCC.
why I freaking removed Hangman from the equation and all this for some
Especially
reason.
since Hangman and Danielson wasn't even there. So
That was probably why I did.
yeah,
But I mean, you can't really forget Danielson. But
no, you can't. Amateur,
damn,
amateur, amateur.
amateurs.
Um,
That's what will be screaming at me right now. Shit.
this is starting to become the feud that I'm getting a little tired of.
Oh.
We get the Outcast, Tony Storm, Ruby Soho versus Rio and Sky Blue.
Oh, wait. To answer your question,
Okay, go ahead.
Anarchy in the Arena could work.
Oh yeah, my bad. I did ask the question.
They could just do like a tornado or like a Extreme Rules 8-man tag.
Yeah, it's
Shit.
gonna be something with some violence can be
Oh, it
involved.
has to be. Has to
Yeah.
be with everybody involved. It could be a cage match. I don't know. I really
It definitely has to
don't
be
know.
something where people can bleed.
Yeah, that's 100%. Damn, I saw like an Instagram story. Like people were hoping that actually Kota Ibushi was going to show up because he's been injured for a little bit and he's been on the mend, and we don't know
It
where
would
he.
be interesting if the BCC had a fifth.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, if the BCC had a fifth, I could see the Elite and Hangman like, well, who are we going to get to be our fifth? Like, we can't get on the Dark Order people. And then Kenny will be like, I got somebody. I got
Yeah.
us. But I don't know. Because it's going to look awkward if the BCC magically gets a fifth member now.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
So,
unfortunately.
yeah. But yes, the feud that needs some type of injection. The Outcast, Storm and Soho versus Riho and Blue. Storm and Soho gets the W.
Sky Blue though.
Yes.
Dante Martin, you injured lucky bastard. Anyways. I mean, I don't know how lucky you are with but I know, man. I don't know how lucky you are with that broken leg, man. That thing.
That still looked gnarly.
It's still in my head, but yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but this feud between the Outcasts and whoever the fuck, like literally, because they're fighting everybody.
They're fighting everybody, and the thing was that it started off cool at first, and it's like I don't know, it's in their heads that they was like, "Whoa, we have to dial back this feud because it's starting to look like the women's version of what the BCC is doing," which that still would have been completely fine.
That's fine, yeah.
It still would have been completely fine if that was the direction that, hey, these women are coming in and fucking shit up. Like that would have been completely fine. But and then it's like the timing of everything. It's like, okay, the Outcast starts beating up Blue and Rio. Then Hater comes out by herself. She gets jumped, and then Britt comes out and basically evens things out in a sense. And it's like, can we figure out what's the resolution to this feud?
Also, did you notice what color Britt was wearing?
I didn't pay attention.
Oh man, you're just like those guys on TikTok.
Uh-oh. Well, what happened? What color was she wearing?
She was wearing black pants with green on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm over here like as she's helping out Tony Storm, or not Tony Storm, sorry, Jamie Hayter, thinking, oh, is this a turn?
Oh. Now that would be the interesting way to
like this could be a nice, interesting way to hint at it,
Yeah. So that would be interesting.
Because let me see, you've got so far what Riho, Sky Blue. I mean, they ran through Red Velvet. I mean, honestly, you can pick from a lot of women because of who they've gone through.
Yeah.
But to team up with Jamie Hayter, and then Britt, like with the Outcasts, that would be a fourth for them. Wouldn't be bad.
I can see whatchamacallit coming back a little bit to help Sheeta.
Oh yeah. I could see it.
Interesting.
It'd be interesting. Like maybe she's teasing a turn, maybe she's not.
Maybe it's coincidence that she was wearing green.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we rolled into our main event. Big Keith Lee, the Ocho, Chris Jericho. I don't know how I felt about this match, to be honest with you.
Good match. I mean, between Keith Lee and you got Keith Lee and Chris Jericho. I mean, you can't say that it was like a bad match.
No, it wasn't a bad match. I guess
had trouble emotionally investing.
Probably so, because it was just announced last week, and then boom, it's happening. It was like, okay, cool.
But it looks like it's setting up more. Apparently.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably get something like Danny Garcia and Jericho versus Lee and Adam Cole, like either next week or week after.
But I think my biggest issue I'm having, personally speaking, do I really want to see Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho? I think it's one of those. My biggest issue.
I think it's one of those you have to.
Okay. Because it's Chris Jericho, and Cole.
And Cole is Cole.
I get it, but yeah, it's like do I
two
really
shining stars that aren't in the main plot line right now? They got to get some kind of shine.
True. So, but at some point, I'm pretty sure it's gonna probably happen at Double or Nothing, which that's a hell of a long way to stretch this feud out.
Yeah, but
Cole versus Jericho's don't happen.
It's really weird to me. The way this is looking is that it's going to be a lot of team matches.
Yes.
At Double or Nothing.
Yes.
Which, I mean, with the teams involved, looks like it'll be just fine. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, what's our main? Like, obviously, our main event's going to end up being in like a fatal 4-way with MJF and the rest of the pillars.
Yeah, like I said, the only match so far, like if all of these feuds are going to carry over, or most of them is going to carry over into Double or Nothing so far, other than Jericho and Cole, everything else is looking like multi-people matches.
Yeah.
Because if we do a fatal four-way for the world title, I'm pretty sure the tag team titles maybe be involved in some form. Depending on what they're doing with this whole BCC and the Elite situation, the Outcasts versus the Originals. Yeah, everything is looking very multi-person match. So
Yeah.
interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't a bad episode of Dynamite.
No. Like two big return. I wouldn't say two, like a big-ish return as far as like storyline goes with Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and then
we get Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, getting Jeff Hardy back is a big overall. Like,
yes,
I mean, look, the kid in me wants to be excited for Jeff Hardy to come back, but the adult in me is like, are you gonna stay healthy? Are you gonna stay out of trouble?
Facts.
Because like you get belts when you stay out of trouble. You see the reward process. So yeah, please stay out of trouble.
I 1000% agree. 1000%. But yeah, at least AEW has a better build going into their pay-per-view than what WWE is doing. So
yeah.
And then hell, in WWE is in like 2-3 weeks. So
and
yikes.
There's like nothing hugely set up. I feel like it's gonna be over the next it's gonna be all thrown together within the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be like, what the hell? They're probably gonna just be like, okay, who's been feuding but hasn't really seen each other in a while? Okay, you two go.
Right. But yeah, that was wrestling from Friday to Wednesday. Yeah, anything you want to add, or anything, or any other observations you noticed?
I'm gonna say that I didn't watch anything WWE product wise, and I feel like
totally
I didn't
fine.
miss anything. Yeah, exactly.
You're totally fine.
I like maybe after Backlash, so they can like set up a Puerto Rican visit. But
and look,
like
I was
don't feel
telling
like watching
Ashley,
the
I was
weeklies.
like, it's funny you said that too, because I was telling Ashley, I was like, at this point, Brock just staying around in the company to get these free trips.
Yeah.
Going to Saudi Arabia, going to Puerto Rico. Like at this point, Brock going to Canada and all these places. Brock just staying around just to get the free trips.
It's like getting little vacations every time he goes.
Yeah.
He probably sticks around for 5 days, chills.
Like at this point, he's just getting the free vacations.
Yeah.
But if anything I want to say, I'm just waiting to see. I'm really more intrigued to see how everything plays out for AEW with Double or Nothing, because they have some irons in the fire, and I know they have some other things happening too, and it kind of makes me wonder what's the grand scheme of everything, especially going into Double or Nothing, and then Forbidden Door being like right after in June. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have. So, like I said, wrestling from Friday to Wednesday. Shout outs to Dizzle, shout outs to Juggs. Right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. All that good stuff. Let us know what y'all think about everything that's happening in WWE, which is a lot, and everything that's happening in AEW. Let us know down below.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot as well. Except that one is more positive than the other. But until next time, people, when you see us or any combination or whatever, y'all know how it goes, and you know how we sign this thing off. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't forget to tag out. Throw it up. Peace, everybody.
Deuce.